Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. This is a very exciting video because so many of you want to start your own podcast from scratch and you just don't know how. You have an idea, but you want to hear from somebody who have actually started, build, grow, monetize a podcast. And I am your girl, Dr. T&J Ramsay from CTR Media Network. And today I am going to show you real time how to start a podcast from scratch. Did I say it right? Scratch. All right, so I know this is our way. This is part of our initiative with CTR Cares in collaboration with CTR Cares Inc., which is a 501c3 nonprofit that connects the community with other nonprofits and resources to help to make you grow. And with CTR Media Network, we collaborate with CTR Cares in order to bring you content that educates as well as entertain you. So let's go ahead and get right in because I don't like no long intros when it's time to get to the nitty gritty. So let me go ahead and show you how to start a podcast. And the platform that I have chosen to use on today is Spotify for creators. Yes, it used to be called Anchor. Then the name was changed to Spotify for podcasters. And now it's Spotify for creators, but it is the same platform. They did multiple different updates, and now the name is Spotify. The reason why I decided to do Spotify for creators because it is a free platform for those of you who do not have a budget yet for your podcast and you just need to do the bootstraps, you need to just go ahead and invest in having you a streaming platform, but then turn around and you don't really have it for the podcasting side, then this is definitely the one for you. So one thing I want to just talk to you guys about before we actually get into the video is because many of you think that, you could just start a podcast, but there's some things that you actually need to do before you start a podcast. So I actually have an ebook that actually discusses this into detail that I am actually giving away for free, which is called the 7 Things You Need to Know Before Starting a Podcast. So if you have never started a podcast before, this is definitely what you need to go look at before you actually start. But I am going to go over the things right here, right now, but there's some more details in there that I really feel that you should look at, and it's for absolutely free. Before we get started, go ahead and smash that like, follow, share, and subscribe button because we're bringing you this great information right now, and we want you to be able to benefit from it. And you can go and pick up that free PDF by simply going to CTRmedianetwork.com. Yes, that's CTRmedianetwork.com. And it's in the store tab. So you click the resource tab and then you'll see store, click store, and then you will actually be able to see some of the freebies that we have provided for all of you. Now let's get back to the video. These are the 7 things that you really need to know before you try to start going over there to Spotify for creators. You need to have some things already done. Like you need to know what your podcast name is going to be. You need to know what your podcast going to be about. That's your podcast description. You need to already have a logo ready in the size of 500 by 500. You can design a free logo in Canva. If you do not have the money to go pay a graphic designer, you will need an email address that's going to be attached to that particular podcast in order to even start an account with Spotify for creators. You're going to need an email address. You're also going to need to already have a pre-recorded episode already ready to go, whether it is an audio, which is an MP3 ready to go, or MP4, which is a video. You need to have at least one already saved to your computer or your electronic device before you even go to try to start a podcast for Spotify for podcasters. Spotify for creators. You also need to have an idea of the type of content that you're going to create and what category, genre, or niche it's going to fall up under. So mostly everybody can fall up under the self-improvement tab. But if you're very niche down that you only speak to educators, you only speak to entrepreneurs, you only speak to history or finances, whatever the case may be, you're going to have to pick that category. So go ahead and think about it. And lastly, but surely not least, you need to decide whether or not you're going to lead with your own physical name, your name, or you're going to use a fictitious name that's going to be attached to your podcast as the host. Because some people, they like to lead with their stage name versus their real name, or they just lead 100% just with that podcast name that you selected. So you're going to have to make those choices. I would say it will be good for you to go ahead and do all of this before, because if you don't, it's going to slow up the process. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. And we are actually going to go to Spotify for creators. Yes, 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 and yes. This is the platform where you can actually go and start, grow, and monetize your podcast for absolutely free. So let's go ahead and get started. So the very first thing, if you want to start a podcast, you click the tab. You see features, resources, videos, podcasts, switch help. You hit podcast. And then you're going to see this page right here. This page, of course, is going to talk about podcasts and all that good stuff, but you're going to click get started. Let's go ahead and click that get started. Now, if you already have a podcast, of course, it will show it there, but we're starting from scratch. So we're going to scroll down. It is not a good idea. Let me repeat myself. It is not a good idea for you to start your podcast by clicking continue with your Google email or continue with Facebook or continue with Apple, because you got to think for in the future. Say, for example, your podcast grows so big that you can't handle all the requests and everything that's going to come in to be a guest to sponsor your show, and you want to hire someone. You don't want them in your personal email or your personal Facebook or your personal Apple account. So therefore, I say sign up your account and start it with an email and password so that you can keep that type of information confidential. So you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says sign up for Spotify. Then when it says sign up for Spotify, it's going to take you here. Do not get, wait a minute, let me stop sharing and then share the screen again so you can see what I'm looking at. Da, 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 da. Give me a minute. All right. So now you're going to see sign up, right? You guys are with me. So now you're going to need to have the email. You remember when I told you had to have an email? So now you're going to pick the email that you want to have associated with your podcast. Keep in mind, this is the email that you're going to be using to distribute your podcast to multiple different places. This is the email that potential people who want to work with you is going to be reaching out to. This is the email that's going to enable you to be getting in and out of your account, as well as if you hire someone to actually run your podcast for you. So now you're going to be very mindful of which email you use. Next, you want to click next after you decide which email you're going to use. And then you want to create you a password. Okay. Let's see. And with this password, you know, it's not going to let you go through if you don't follow the specification. All right. So we have that password together. And so what we're going to do, we're going to click next. And then this is the name, like what I was telling you, what is going to be your name. So I am going to put Dr. Tina J. Ramsay. Okay. I am not going to put my real birthday in here. But I am going to just pick January, just something random. Something random. And you can click, if you want to click your gender, you can. If you don't, you can say, I prefer not to say. Let's just see what it does. And then, of course, they have their own, terms and conditions. You have to click and say sign up. You can decide then at this point, do you want to save your password? And then it's going to take you here. Then once you get here, you have to also accept the terms. And now this is where you can actually start your podcast. So we're starting from scratch. So we are going to click create a new. Yes, we're going to click create a new show. Okay, after we get to create a new show, as you can see, it has all the information that I told you needed ahead of time. You need your show name, description, the creator name, and then we're going to do the category. So we're just going to do Dr. Tina. The show name is going to be the Dr. Tina J. Ramsay Show. Even though I'm not creating another podcast, but for the sake of demonstrational purposes only, let's just put it there. Then, description, a show to inspire you to live your best life. We just doing this because if it was really a real show, I would go into a little bit more detail. So here I am deciding that I am going to use my name in order to be the creator's name. But here in this section, you can choose to either use your name, your creator name that you use for, your stage name, or you can use your organization or your business name right here. Next, we are going to choose or select our category. So when you click it, you're going to see it's a whole lot of different categories that you can actually select. So what I would encourage you to do is to look through all of these categories and see, based upon the content that you plan to create, what genre that you fit up under, what category that you fit under the best, right? And so one thing, if you're not certain about the genre, the surefire thing that actually keeps that everybody follow up on is self-improvement. Okay. And so if you don't know, just click self-improvement for now. And then as your show builds and grows, you will be able to define what your show is. And next you need to click your language. We are English, just regular English. We have multiple different English, right? We're going to say English United States. And then we're going to click next. Now, this is, like I told you before, you're going to need your logo already saved onto your computer or your electronic device, whatever you're using. I encourage you, when you start your podcast from scratch, the first initial time is to be on a laptop or a desktop computer. So I have already saved a logo, and I'm just going to click it. Even though it don't match what I put on here, but I'm just showing you this to show you how to start a podcast on Spotify for podcasters. That is all. Okay, after that, then it's going to take you here. So as you can see my logo, you can see the name of the show. And we did the first part because it's highlighted in blue. Next, I need to go and verify my email. So let me go and verify my email right quick. Wow, so that it will actually allow me to publish my first podcast once I upload everything, because you cannot publish anything until you verify your email. Okay. Confirm. I'm going to confirm my email over here. I'm not showing you that part, but that's what I'm doing right now. So whatever email that you attached associated with that particular account, it will actually show that you verified it. So I'm going to refresh my tab here because I just verified everything. And as you can see, now it's highlighted blue. Now we're going to go to the next step. We're getting ready to publish an episode. But before we publish the episode, no, I'm going to go ahead and publish the episode. So once you click publish episode, now this goes back to the first, rules of thumb. You need to already have an audio or a video already prepared. So I already do. I'm going to go in and go on my computer, and I am going to pull a video. And I'm just going to drag and drop. As you can just see, I just dragged and dropped it. And so right now it's currently uploading. And then I'm going to type a title. This is BLS, or I could say welcome. I can say welcome to the show. Then I put my description. And you can be as detailed as you want to be. You can add links and all of that, but I am just doing this for instructional purposes only. So as you can see, we are waiting for this episode to upload. So after the episode completely uploads and says complete upload, then as you can see, right now, Spotify for Creators created a way that you can have thumbnails already created, used from the video that you're actually uploading. But I will encourage you to upload your own thumbnail so that it can draw in more of an audience. But if you don't have anything right now, just use what you have, okay? And we are currently still waiting for this to upload, and this time slot can vary based upon how fast, how slow your internet is. And let me just go down so I can show you some other little things while we're waiting for that to upload. So, content checks. So what type of content is this uploaded? Is this something that you think should be for 18 years old or older? So you need to help Spotify decide what content to restrict from users under 18. So if your content is not anything that you wouldn't want a child, a minor, to know, then you don't have to do this. If you have explicit content, maybe you are using profanity or you're saying things that are explicit, then you need to let Spotify know. One thing you do not want to do on these platforms is create content and then not being honest on the type of content that it is, because it can cause you to be banned from the platform. Just be upfront what kind of content that you're having. Now, me personally, I do not create any explicit content, and I do not create any content that is not for general audiences. So anybody can listen to my content because it's very G or PG. Okay, next, you need to be honest with Spotify to let them know if your podcast have any promotional content inside of it. So promotional content such as maybe someone paid you to have their ad inside, or their product or their sponsorship or their endorsement within your podcast episode. If you are advertising in your podcast, then you need to turn this button on. Okay? Because Spotify also have an option based upon if you meet their requirements to advertise on your show as well, if you choose to do so. But you want to be honest so that you won't have any problems in the future. Okay? And so next, you can create polls to make your podcast very engaging. You can create them from scratch, as you can see right now. You can put in your question. Maybe you have a speaker or a guest that is doing a Q&A or whatever like that. Or maybe you want to see how much, or if your audience is really taking in information and understanding it. And then you can actually ask them questions, and they can actually engage with you that makes your podcast interactive. Next, additional details. This is the section that you will determine to let the audience know if this is a full episode, is this a trailer? A trailer is a short little bite-sized piece of what your episode to come is going to be. If you are dropping like a promo of that particular episode, right? Because some of us do like little promos that get our audience enticed, excited about the upcoming episode. You can decide whether or not you want to do that, or you may decide that this is a bonus episode, whatever the case may be. You choose that. Now, for most people, it's just going to be a full episode. Now, this is what I encourage all podcasters to do that we normally do not do. You need to decide if you're going to break your show up in seasons or you're just going to count the episodes as is. I do both. When I counted my episodes as well as my seasons. Why? Is because it helped me be accountable. Why? Because podcasting is not easy, and seeing the progress of my podcast motivated me to keep on going. And 3, when you are really working to build a podcast that not only is impactful, but also can make you an income, when potential sponsors or advertisers or entrepreneurs or guests that want to come on to your show, they see that you are not just season 1, episode 1, but you have 30 episodes, you have 100 episodes, you have 300 episodes. That speaks volume of your consistency and showing the caliber of your work, the body of your work. So start numbering, and it also helps outside of Spotify for podcasters. When people are looking you up online, they can see that this is episode 237. This is episode 500. This is episode 25. It helps organize everything, and it also helps with you with Google searches and stuff. So we're going to start with episode 1 because this is episode 1. And you can decide whether or not you want to allow the Spotify for Creators community to be able to comment on your video if you want. You can turn it on or off. I encourage you to leave it on because engagement is always a good thing. And as you can see right now, we are at 86% in counting to upload that particular episode. And so I'm going to keep speaking with you for this moment so that you can see the entire process on how to start a podcast from scratch with Spotify for Creators. It is not difficult, but you do have to do some prep work ahead of time so that you can make this as easy, as streamlined as possible. Yes, I do. I do have my #1 best-selling book, The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcast Success. You can actually find that particular book on our website at ctrmedianetwork.com. That's ctrmedianetwork.com. If you are a person that want to know more details on how to send emails for sponsorships, collaborations, how to build your podcast as a business, to give you like the starting factors, and also the mindset that you have to have. I am literally sharing with you in this #1 best-selling book all the things that I have done from a person that's just like you, that started a podcast just for therapeutic reasons, and then it grew beyond my wildest expectations. I did not expect for my podcast to grow. I didn't even think of being able to monetize. I didn't even think of how amazing a podcast is for marketing and purposes. I had no idea. It not only educates and entertains, but it inspires and opens up multiple opportunities for you. Like having a podcast opened up me opportunities to be on television, streaming television, as well as regular television on Tubi. It opened up opportunities for me to model, to have speaking engagements, paid speaking gigs. I'm not talking about free. Being an international speaker, being offered to be in multiple different books and collaborations. It really, having a podcast really changed my life. And that's why I'm so passionate about telling you guys about you need to stop looking on the sidelines and go ahead and get started with your podcast or streaming TV show on today. So as you can see, it's finally uploaded, right? And so what we do next is that we're going to click next in the bottom left corner. Yes, we're going to click next so that you can see how that looks. And then we're going to click next. We're reviewing everything. And now we're going to decide whether or not we want to publish this now or we want to schedule it. So I'm going to show you how it looks now. You just click now, and then you will click publish if you want to publish this now. But say, for example, you want to schedule. This is going to save your life, because as you start getting busy with your podcast and live, you're going to get to the point where you're going to need to pre-schedule your podcast episodes to go out weekly or however the frequency you want. But every podcast should at least do a podcast at least once a week. So if you're scheduling this, you can schedule it from the dates. And then you can also select the time and all of that good stuff. And it will literally come out the day and time that you select. And then you can go and just check and review everything. I am going to say I'm going to schedule this for 11:47 a.m. Click schedule. After I click schedule it, this is how it will look. And it says you're almost live. And then, that's how it looked. Okay. So now let me go back. Say, for example, I changed my mind. I don't want to wait for my podcast to go out. I don't want to wait. So I'm going to go here on my episodes. And I am getting ready to go ahead and publish this bad boy right now. So let me go in here and edit this particular podcast episode. We're going to revert it back to draft. And then we're going to go back and we are going to go ahead and make it go live. So give me one moment in time. All right. So literally we can go to this episode right now. And we are live. Yes, baby, we are live. Okay. So as you can see, that is literally how easy it is for you to start a podcast from scratch. And then the only thing that you need to do now is go out and share your podcast with people. Let them know that you have a podcast. Don't be a secret. Don't be a secret. Go ahead and publish your podcast. And not just publish it, but go out there and share it, share the link. So now what I want to do, because it's going to be a longer video, because I want to show you everything in one video. So now we're going to focus on the side tabs. Okay. Make sure you can see what I see so that you can understand. So on the left side of your screen, you see home, analytics, episode, comments, monetize, settings. The very first thing is this is your home page. Your home page, let me let it show you. Your home page is the overview of your podcast. So this is the first episode. No one has listened to this podcast yet, but when they start listening to it on Spotify, which is right here, it will show you how many listeners. It will also show you engagement. This right here will show you your latest episode. This gives you the quick link so that you can share your podcast episode. This will also show you Spotify Discovery, which is basically showing the stats of your show. You will see the countries where people are listening to you at. You'll see how many people listen to your podcast. And if you get any interaction and comments on your podcast, it will be right here. Yes, right here. So as you can see, this is your back end data. Like I like to tell my podcasters, your data equals dollar. So make sure that you learn how to read this once you start building out content and it shows. You got to understand what it is. Next thing is, if you want to just go straight on to your analytics, which I tell you, you need to live on these analytics once you start building up your podcast, because it will help you be able to close multiple deals based upon people wanting to have access to your audience. So right now we don't have any audience because we just started this podcast from scratch, but it will give you some tips on how you can actually grow that podcast, right? And so make sure once you start building, you can actually see that part. Now, episodes. You can click your episodes at any time. Once you start building out more episodes, it will always keep your latest episode to the top, and it will have your previous episodes going down to the bottom. You can be able to see how many, see the status here of your podcast. You can see that this is already published. You'll see the format of your podcast, whether you did video or audio. I did video, so you'll be able to see there's video. You will see the exact length into minutes and seconds right here. Then you will see how many people actually played your particular episode. And if you are running paid ads through Spotify for creators, it will be here and it will show you how many ads you actually have. And this is the date of which you publish that particular episode. These three dots is where you can upload a clip. You can view episode details. You can share it. You can copy your public link to this episode to drive them just to that particular episode. You can actually download your episode again, or you can decide to delete the episode if you do not like it. Here in the comments on to the left, you can actually go, and once you start getting comments from your episode, you can actually start answering it and all that good stuff like that. You can also put parameters where you have certain things where you can watch what type of comments it is, if it's sensitive or not. So you can decide on that. Once you build up your podcast some more, it will actually show you, one moment. Because we are letting this load. You want to take this little slow time. It must be the weather. Okay, so let's go ahead to another tab. Monetization. So once you actually build your monetization side where you reach, okay, so back in the day, Spotify used to let you, as soon as you start a podcast, you can start monetizing on their platform. Well, it's not like that now. You have to reach certain parameters in order to qualify for the Spotify partner program. And I'm here to tell you that it's a real program. And if you meet the qualifications, they do pay you. Okay. They use Stripe to pay their content creators, but they do pay you. So the qualifications in order to monetize on Spotify for creators is, first, you need to publish at least 12 episodes for your podcast. Then you need, within the last 30 days, you need to have 10,000 consumption hours of people listening to your content or watching it. And then you need to hit 2,000 people who stream your podcast on Spotify, because Spotify has audio as well as they can watch your video. I call it Spotify TV. You can learn more by clicking learning more, okay? But those are the basic things that you need to do. And it may seem like it's a lot, but it's really not. And then once you hit all three, then this will enable itself. It will unlock, and you can actually charge monthly subscriptions for your fans. So if your fans want to support your show, you can ask them to support your show by opting into your monthly subscriptions. You can choose to lock down certain episodes and make it paid versus free. It's totally up to you how you want to earn money on Spotify for creators. The next thing is, before I go, I want to show you guys, because I want you to have a clear understanding of the back end as well as the front end, so that you can be successful with your podcast. Most people are not going to show you all this, but hey, your girl is different. All right, no gatekeeping over here. It's time for you guys to thrive in 2025 and beyond, and no excuses. So say, for example, you want to change your podcast name, because once you start your podcast, the cool thing with Spotify for creators is that you can go in and change your name as many times as you want. Okay. You can change your logo. You can change all that. It's not concrete. So figure out what you want to do for now, and then you can change it later. Now, I want you guys to hit settings and scroll all the way to the bottom. If you have a website attached to your podcast, you need to put it here. You need to attach all of your social media so that so you can grow your social media platforms alongside your podcast. And as you can see, if you get to the point that you want to delete your podcast, you can delete it. You can redirect your podcast to another platform, or you can remain on this free platform. It's totally up to you how you want to do your show. Okay. So as you can see, you can change, you can update or download your art, all of that good stuff. And if you make any changes, always make sure to save it, because if you make changes and do not save it, then it is not saved. Next, once your podcast is being up for a while and start getting distributed on other platforms, then you will find those platforms here. This is one good thing about being on Spotify for creators, is that immediately after you publish your episode, you're automatically on Spotify for creators audio side, and then you're on the video side, Spotify itself. So you'll find yourself on the regular music side as well as the creator side. So you're on two different distributions owned by the same platform. Now, this is very important. Many people don't know what an RSS feed is. Your RSS feed, in my opinion, is like the social security number of your podcast. It holds all of your content that you have now and what you will create in the future. And this is how you actually get your podcast on multiple different platforms for distribution. But the thing is, it is not automatically enabled on your podcast. So in order for you to enable it to be able to activate your RSS feed when you first start your podcast, you have to click enable. Once you enable your podcast, this is why you need an email. You see the email that I started this podcast with was drtnjrams@gmail.com. Well, this is my RSS feed. And then you can just copy it. You can take this RSS feed and literally add your podcast to all of these platforms, and you just drop it there and click add. Drop it here and put add. Now you actually have to submit to Apple Podcasts to connect, but it is a free process, and all of these other platforms as well. So you have to follow their rule of thumb, their requirements in order to add your podcast to their particular platform. Some of them do charge a small fee, some of them do not. So you can pick and choose where you want to go, but that's how you can distribute your podcast yourself. But sometimes these platforms will pick you up if you have quality content without you doing it. But I say, why wait? Do it yourself, right? So you can actually see it right there. So if anybody asks you for your RSS feed, like you join CTR Media Network Podcasters, our membership program, we're going to ask you for your RSS feed. And so this is what it is, because that is how we distribute your podcast on our platform and also get you on other platforms. We need that in order to position and grow your podcast to have more distributions. So make sure you enable that from day one. Next, remember I told you about if you have a team. You might not have a team now, but as you build and grow, you may want to manage a team. So we have this team tab here that you can see. And then if you want to manage your team, you just click manage team. And then you can actually add people, invite people to join, maybe your VA or your administrative assistant, and give them that email. And they'll be able to join, to be able to upload, distribute, or however you want to do it. They'll be able to work on your podcast with you. Okay, so now what I want to show you is over here. We're in the top right, okay? We was in the left side before, but now we're on the right. You see where this little purple bubble, let me move my cursor. See it, see it? Yeah, you see it. Okay, so I'm gonna click on it. This is what you need to know how to work to, which is your account settings, okay? So this is gonna have your name of your show. This is gonna have your email, and this also, you click the first tab, it shows you how you log in, and it shows you general information, tips, and strategies. You need to learn and make sure to read all of those different little things, okay? The next thing is, give me one moment in time. All right. You can X that out. And now we're going to go back. All right. Cool beans. We got it back. So the cool thing is now with the new update with Spotify for Creators is that not only can you add a team, but you can add a new show. Because the thing is, a lot of people, including myself, have more than one podcast on this platform. And we had to have different separate logins to log into every single show. The thing now is that they streamline it. So if you do have another show, you can actually come over here in your settings on the settings tab, and you can actually add a new show. And so you will go through the same process that we did before to start a new show. But if it's already creating, you already have a show, you can find it and search it through the RSS feed, or you can type the name of the host or whatever. And if it's already active and been live for a certain amount of time, it will show up. So this works good for individuals who are running agencies, or maybe you as a podcast host, you have more than one show and you want to be organized and have it all in one place. You can literally switch from one podcast to the next, right? But if you are a podcast agency and you are managing more than one podcast with your business, then this will be a way that you can organize everything. Then you can invite your team members in to focus and do the different shows or whatever that you want to do. Yes, 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 and yes. So today I have showed you in less than an hour, how to start your podcast for absolutely from scratch. I also explained and broke down to you the left end of our screen where we went through the home, the analytics, how to do an episode, how to upload it, how to edit it, what are the comments, the monetization, broke down all of the settings for you, as you can see. Did all that. Yes, 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 and yes. Then we also had the opportunity to go over to our account settings and break down everything for you as well. And if you ever run into a problem where you need help, you just click the help tab and then it will take you here. And it didn't let me show it to you. So let me just click on it. Boom. Help. Let me see, did it flip? No, it did not flip. So let me do this. Let me do this. Okay, so let me stop sharing so you can see the help tab. Because I want you to see this. So if you ever run into a problem with Spotify for podcasters, Spotify for creators, see, they changed their name so much, I can't even keep it straight. What you need to do, let's see, make sure I pull up the right tab so that you can see the help. Give me one moment. So in less than an hour, I basically showed you how everything, all the nuts and bolts of how to do a podcast, right? The last thing is this help tab. So if you ever run into a situation where you actually need help, you have troubleshooted, you did everything that you possibly could do, but you just, for the life of you, you just cannot figure this thing out. They have the help, publishing, comments, distributing, promotion, analytics, monetizing your show, switching hosts, terms and conditions. All of this, And they do have a live chat if you need it, okay? And so you can hover over and be able to get that help that you need. So this has been like the impromptu to help you get up off your seat and go ahead and start that podcast, okay? This is your year to thrive. No more sitting on the sidelines, watching everybody else win. Get on in on the action. Normally, I charge a good little fee to sit down and walk people through on how to start a podcast. But I prayed about it, and God said, teach them, and let them get it, okay? And so that is what I am doing, and I hope that this information will serve as a blessing to you. And I hope that this will actually be I would say, the stepping stone for most of you who have been watching me for a while on how to start a podcast or whatever like that. And now I'm showing you how to exactly start one on a free platform. I hope that you take up this advice and go ahead and start your podcast. For those of you who would like to know more, go ahead and pick up my book. I only have like 25, get this, I only have 25 printed copies, and it's the year 2025. I'm serious. That's all I have left in stock. So if you want a printed copy from me with an autograph, you can go to our website at ctrmedianetwork.com. That is ctrmedianetwork.com, and be able to get, let me type it in so that you can see it. You can go to ctrmedianetwork.com and go ahead and purchase your book right now. We do have an ebook version of this for only $10. Right now we're running it for just $20. It's $20, and with shipping it'll probably be $25, okay? But anyway, that is what we are doing. I hope you guys learned something. You enjoyed it. How to start your podcast for absolutely, basically you started for free at this point and started from scratch. Make sure before you even get started, go to our website and get your free copy of our ebook, The 7 Things You Need to Know before you start a podcast. Even though I went over it a little bit on today, I feel like you still will be able to benefit from this, and it's absolutely free, so that you won't make some of the mistakes that I did in the beginning, and it could just be smooth and easy sailing for you from this point on. I want you guys to make sure that you go and download our CTR Media Network app. We're so happy and grateful that we have now expanded to television. Yes, television. We're not just a podcasting platform anymore. You can watch us on Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, web app, and so much more. Go ahead and download by scanning the QR code right now, and you can watch our content from our amazing content creators for absolutely free. We currently have 12 channels and counting, but we are bringing more to the forefront, and we are just so excited about our initiative of giving back and bringing you impactful information that inspire you through education, as well as entertaining you to become the change that you want to become. Remember those tips that I told you before you start a podcast. These are the things that you need to do first. And get this ebook for free. So you go on ahead over there and do the thing. You know what? This has been so amazing. I am going to be coming back throughout the year, sharing different things on how to start a podcast, how to build, how to grow, how to scale, all the good stuff, as well as discussing with you various different podcasting equipment that is budget friendly. However, some things might be a little pricey, but it depends on what you want to do. We're always searching and seeking to collaborate with companies that have things that are for podcast and TV streaming people. So if you are a company that will want to collaborate with us, which I know you do, because we want to collaborate with you and want us to feature your content on our show, and that will be video, not audio, so that we can show the people how to use it, how it sounds, so they can go out and purchase it. Make sure to reach out to us. You can reach out to us through our website at CTRmedianetwork.com. That's CTRmedianetwork.com. Or you can call us Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. CST at 1-877-287-6552, extension 801. And you can send us an email at info@CTRmedianetwork.com. Y'all know I can't come on here without making you smile or doing my laugh or whatever, because it's just natural. You guys have a great, amazing rest of your day, and happy podcast and TV streaming. Make sure to smash that like button and leave us a comment on what you think about this particular training, this particular, basically behind the scenes showing you how to do the thing and how to do it right. On that note, you guys have a great, amazing rest of your day. And thank you for being a best part of CTR, our viewing and listening audience that keep us motivated, because at the end of the day, we create and do this stuff for you. We love you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Dreams do come true. I am showering on Netflix.
What I wish I knew when I started podcasting: how to get an awesome website in minutes. No technical knowledge, no problem. Podpage is designed for podcasters, not developers. Build a professional website in minutes, no coding required. Focus on your podcast, not your website. Join over 30,000 podcasters who trust Podpage to showcase their shows. It's easy, it works, it's made for you. Visit CTR Media Network and scan the QR code to get started now. Podpage, build it, love it, share it.